when you look at the other stories, Iran will be one of the highlights for the global oil markets today. We got news from the ministerial meeting, what you call the JTC meeting. Let me just tell you a few things from Bakindo, who is the Secretary General of the OPEC, and he says, and you can say, he says in his remarks to the JTC, His Excellency Bakindo, this is from the official Twitter handle of OPEC, says Bakindo underscored that despite a range of market uncertainties still persisting, the collective decisions of the participating countries of the Declaration of Cooperation continue to be a reliable and crucial tool for oil market stability. And of course, he also spoke about anticipating the special return of Iran production and exports to the global market. I said earlier, it says that will be orderly and in a transparent fashion. So let's take this straight up to the markets now. Let's talk to the global markets analyst and the managing partner at Howard Minnis Asset Management, Uchenna Minnis. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, boss. Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. Let's what's your take on the headwinds that OPEC Plus faces as it hosts its ministerial meeting tomorrow?
As you've rightly mentioned, Secretary General pointed out that there will be increased demand going into towards the end of the year, and on the basis of that basically looks gives an optimistic, should I say, feeling into the market in terms of oil traders and key stakeholders when it comes to the commodity space. But also there's something we need to really remember, that we're coming from a ground zero level from 2020 as regards with the pandemic. So I think it will be too early to jump into conclusion, and I'm sure we'll see that in the decisions coming into tomorrow, that they can't take any drastic action as regards to easing their production quota. So I think there will still be a cautious outlook as regards to how they manage the supply quota, really, to just keep prices quite stable.
Yeah, but what I hear is Bakindo sounding very optimistic about demand outpacing supply as we get well into 2021. We're starting June tomorrow, so we're now technically in the middle of the year. Do you share his optimism?
I think I can say somewhat, right? And again, just highlighting that we're coming from a very dark place from 2020 as regards to the pandemic and its effect on demand. So yes, with the vaccine rollout looking quite successful in different countries that are quite significant oil consumers, you expect that demand to rationally just go up, really. And that's basically what he's highlighting. But there's also a key issue with the supply part of things. And we are having Iran come onto the table highlighting that they are not going to look to go into production cut any form of quota system, given the fact that they've really been dealt with the short end of the stick in the past couple of years, given the economic sanction from the US. So we will expect a significant flow of the Iranian oil into the market, and that in itself needs to be anticipated as regards to oil pricing.
Well, Bakindo says they're not going to allow the expected return of Iranian production to destabilize things because they've tried since. He says, maintaining the relative stability that we have worked hard to achieve since April of last year. So he's underscoring that, look, it's been a very tough time since April last year to stabilize the global oil market. That's his part of his tweet there. The last part, I'm sure you can see, they say we've worked hard. So they're not going to allow Iran to join this market and destabilize it, quote unquote, to put it very mildly.
Yeah, and again, you also need to understand that as much as he's making his fair point, given the fact that we came from a place where oil WTI traded even into negative territory. No one wants to see a repetition of that. However, with Iran has highlighted that, well, all true, when you guys are producing and selling all your oil produce, we've been really dealt with in terms of the economic sanction. It would be quite unfair to tell Iran to now come into a quota where they're just trying to get to status quo, really, in terms of their production. Yeah.
But how shouldn't oil-producing states like Nigeria position for the volatility and uncertainty still around the oil market? Quickly.
Well, see, also it's quite clear that we will get to play around this market forces and volatility in this space, and I think it will be quite interesting to see how Iran really respond to the lifting of the economic sanction. And for us as a country, it is very, very important because right now we are caught up between the rock and the hard place as regards to oil pricing and the exchange rate. And
let's leave it there for tonight. Thank you for sharing those insights with us this evening. Uchenna Minnis, CEO at Howard Asset Management here in Lagos.